Greetings and welcome to Armored Core Requiem, the series where I take on players' submitted builds and optimize them to the best of my abilities. I've been doing this for a while now, and so far my upgrades have not disappointed. The process goes like this. I take on a player's submitted build, upgrade it live on stream for any viewer as well as the creator of the build themselves to add any input before the final verdict. And then I do this, I make the video discussing the original gameplay of the build as well as all the upgrade decisions, and then do a final PvP test to determine which variant is superior. So if you have a build you would like me to take a look at, you can leave a comment with the build information and or share code, depending on if you're on Xbox, and yeah, I'll give it the good old Requiem treatment. However, if you want a faster result, you can find the link in the description below to the Xbox Fight Club Discord, where you can go to the Requiem workshop and post your build information there. There I'll get back to you much quicker with the upgraded variant, however I will not be giving it the YouTube treatment of going over every single change. You can ask questions and we can have a more personal, private conversation about the build's upgrades in case you don't want the build to be public, or you just want a quicker result without all of the bells and whistles of the video. But yes, all is said, I appreciate you all, have a good one, and enjoy the video. Greetings! Alright, as per usual, we have two builds to take a look at. Both are from YouTube comments, and yeah, let's begin. Alright, starting with this big boy, meant to be a close to mid-range fighter. For the weapons, we have the new heavy machine gun. This is designed to build up high stagger and decent damage at a close range. As well as the coral oscillator, meant to either capitalize on stagger or use the charge attack while our missiles build up more pressure and, keep the enemy guessing, keep the enemy trying to dodge the missiles, but preferably while they're trying to dodge the missiles, they waste energy and get hit by the charge attack. So, both mid and close range viability here. And speaking of, both back slots are the coral missile. The tracking is nuts, can take a while to lock on as well as charge up, but if you do, they will track for a long time before detonating, doing massive damage. As well, yeah, they do massive damage, as well as they can serve as a distraction feature. Send this out and they'll always be trying to dodge it, and if they're always trying to dodge that, that means you can capitalize it on with some other weapons, you can't dodge everything type deal. And for the parts, nothing crazy specific that gives our build a defining edge or advantage in combat. With the current assortment of parts, we have over 10,000 AP at 12,000. All defenses are over 1,200, which is great. Stability at a nice 1,700. And yeah, our speed is at 270, which is the first threshold after 250, 250 being the slowest, so this is very much a slow boy indeed. For the inner parts, we have the Bristle Booster. I'm sure this was chosen because we are such a heavy boy having max assault boost speed, but with the recent patch and the nerf to it, it is now a shadow of its former self. But nonetheless, still an okay option if you're a heavier boy and you want that extra assault boost speed to, or rely on it to catch up to your opponents. However, on such a heavy boy, it's not really going to see a whole lot of use. For FCS, Talbot, the best combination of close and medium range, which I suppose is suitable with our rifle machine gun. And for Generator, Coral, which is a pretty good choice, especially with the Bristle Boost. Keep on running it out and keep going. However, our EN load is very close, so we're not going to get a lot of the actual energy back, even after redlining. But it is one of the only gens that can actually run all of this tech. And expansion, Assault Armor, for close range combat indeed. And like was said, the main playstyle is to charge up the missiles, getting close, use the machine gun to start stagger, of course fire the missiles off, and either go for a more ranged charge oscillator, or once stagger's broken with your machine gun, and maybe even helped by the missiles, you can go with the normal oscillator. But yeah, this being a heavy boy, you're going to need to use a lot of assault boost, maybe do a tech where you move to the side, at the enemy, stuff like that, redlining to get a lot, but, I mean, yeah. We still get a lot of energy back despite being so close to EN overload, but it's definitely not favorable. But again, with a Coral Gen, it is a non-issue for the most part. But yeah, this rifle on its, or the machine gun on its own, is not the greatest for stagger buildup. It's good for a consistent stagger buildup, but it kind of needs something paired with it to really capitalize on, or with work with a build like this to build up stagger and punish with the melee. Having these missiles in the back, being to take so long between firing, I feel like this build is just going to get staggered a lot before we can even get a chance to fire the missiles. But that is why we are here. Yes, that is the base build. Let's get on to what me and the chat consider to be Requiem. And here we are. For the weapons, I ended up switching out the heavy machine gun to a lighter and faster alternative, the MG, the normal machine gun, keeping the Coral Oscillator as it is a mainstay of the build, switching out one of the Coral missiles with the Huxley or the Bullet Orbit to help with stagger buildup to pair with our machine gun, and lastly switch the other Coral missile with the active homing missile launcher, the dual variant. This takes about half the time to lock on, which is dope, meaning we're going to be able to fire these much more consistently and get much more value out of them, with the same property of firing them off and then having the enemy worrying about dodging them, and our oscillator and whatever else we have up our sleeves. And our new assortment of parts and changing of the weaponry has yielded us superior defenses, or I suppose not in kinetic and energy, but still not by a whole lot, higher health, higher explosive defense, higher speed, higher stability, all that good stuff. But most importantly, higher speed and consistency. The most important new part is definitely the arms, finding a good balance between firearm and melee specs so that we get pretty good damage out of our oscillator, and of course have good contribution to tracking with our machine gun. For inner parts, changing out the Bristle Booster to the now superior Alula for its assault boost speed being very good. Oh, just the second best, but not by a whole lot. As well as it's, just more thrust, which means more speed. It's a lot lighter, and on this build, it should favor us well. FCS, keeping the Talbot as it is still our effective range, as well as the generators so that we can be aggressive as all hell without managing our stamina, as well as keeping assault armor. And that is it for this build. We'll go over the PvP test after we cover the next. Alrighty, and here is our next build. Alright, for the weapons, we have the stun bomb launcher, the Therapist. The purpose of this build, or purpose for this in this build, is to build up electrical discharge status effect, which will cause a mini stun as well as do some decent damage. And to pair, the good old stun gun. This again builds up static electric discharge as well as it does decent damage, but its fire rate is great, reload is great, and it's just very you can just get up close and spam the hell out of it, and you get some good procs indeed. For the shoulders, the laser turrets, these are actually pretty alright. You place them down and they'll just stay where they are, shooting all around them, 360. You place about I think 3 until they detonate on their own, and you have to keep placing them. But overall, they're pretty alright, pretty unutilized in the current meta. But yeah, they're pretty alright. I mean, as long as you plan on staying in one area, which I suppose a Bumblebee-esque build like this to get above the opponent and stay on them constantly, this could be alright. But yeah, that's its purpose, to build up high amounts of stun indeed. And to pair with the shoulder for the purpose of high stun or stagger buildup, we have the vertical plasma missile launcher. It used to be very, very popular, still is, but it did get nerfed in its tracking in the recent patch. It's not as good, but it is still very good, and is pretty nice for some guaranteed stagger buildup. For the parts, nothing specific other than reverse joints, as these help out with this type of build a lot. These allow us to jump above the enemy consistently without using a lot of energy, and being above the enemy and shooting down is very, very good and very powerful for a spammy build like this, whether it's Vientos or stun guns. For boosters, Alula, very good booster for lightweights, as well as its assault boost is very good for catching up, as we are max pretty much close range completely, so getting as close to the enemy as fast as possible is definitely within our favor. Max close range FCS Ocellus, of course, and the Coral Generator, which pairs very nicely with reverse joints, as you can run the gen and then use the jumps to get in the air and regen your energy midair. And expansion, Pulse Armor. So yes, the description for this build is to prioritize in building up lots of stagger as well as lots of static shock. So the main play were to be get up close to the opponent, fire off the missiles, fire off all your drones, and then use your Therapist to build up some initial stagger, stun gun to continue it, and you just kind of keep on keeping on. Keep spamming all you can, really. Putting down the drones over and over can get a bit tiresome, I suppose. But if it's part of your build and you're down for it, that's fine. I don't prefer it, as they don't come out very fast. You kind of have to spam the bumper until they come out. They don't just come out all 3 at one time. You have to put them out, and then put them out. Even if you spam, it's not very fast, but they do their job decently with building up some stagger. But I wouldn't say enough to justify them and their purpose of stagger build-up themselves. They're pretty good when the enemy is standing still, which is favorable to static shock, as it is a mini stun, much like stagger break, as well as when stagger actually breaks, the lasers can do some pretty nutty directed damage indeed. But yes, this is the original build. Let's get on to what me in the chat consider to be Requiem. And here we are, Requiem. Funny enough, this is actually my very first PvP build I ever made, Godspeed. I actually made a video on him a long time ago, my first PvP build video, and I have since then upgraded him to this very fashionable squire you see today. For the weapons, dual stun guns, as they are just nuts at staggered buildup and are just best paired in twos. For the shoulders, double bullet orbits, as these are insane for staggered buildup, especially at really close range where most bullets hit. And yes, this should favor us in the terms of stagger and stun being the main philosophy of the original build. And with the current assortment of parts, we achieve pretty much every stat increase other than, I suppose, energy defense, but not by a whole lot. Health is higher, main defenses are higher, and our speed is actually hitting the 370 speed threshold, which the last build was not. As well as with the Nakraya legs, we're keeping the same high jump distance and height, so we can still hop around and hop above our enemy, indeed, without actually being reverse joints. For inner parts, keeping the booster Alula, Ocellus FCS, and Coral Generator, and expansion Pulse Armor to keep up our incredible stagger and overall oppression. The play of this version of the build is much simpler and much more consistent. We just pop the Huxleys, go up close, hop above them, and just spam the triggers until our heart's content. Jump around, boost around to make sure the enemy's FCS. Probably boost around, waiting for reload of the stun guns, and then fire away. Boost around until they're reloaded, all that cool stuff. Use jumps when the energy is depleted, and yeah, just keep going. Pop them all up, spam boosts, and then yeah, just keep on going. Very spammy, very aggressive, very can be very annoying. But alright, those are the builds. We should now get on to the PvP segment. Alright, I got one of my buddies lined up, Shattered. He's helped me out on many projects like this before. So yeah, big thanks to him, and enjoy the fights.
Because right now, it's just like rock, paper, scissors, and you just hope, and when you just play rock and hope you get, and hope you get scissors matchup. That's kind of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Play one of rock, paper, scissors with like a 70% win rate, and
I
eventually
think
you'll
next
get there.
time I'm going to like just try to use off meta stuff and get
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Before I progress, I want to find something really cool, like off meta, that can challenge the meta in a sense. Oscillator. Oh, we did it at the same time. I did it a second before. Oh, dear God.
That missed you?
Yeah, a little bit, man. Might will miss though. Whoa. Let's go. I'll touch that before. Oh, good God. Dear God.
I don't have enough dodge. I don't have enough dodge.
That was decently
Where's
close.
all this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, it worked. It still hit. Hit twice, I think, too. But yeah.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't give me the melee guns I need. I can kind of see what he's going for, but at the same time, you need this lighter. Oh.
Yeah.
Ow, that hurt a lot.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Oscillator.
Okay, I thought I could get over that. No, I couldn't.
Dear God. Oh, dear God. Was it worth it?
Yes.
It was worth it.
How does your do like half my staggers when I do to you? It does like no damage.
I am the one. Oh, let's go.
Fuck. Oh, horror shit.
Absolute brawl fest. Oh my God. I can't believe.
First round.
Yeah, the first round was much closer for sure. Can't believe we activated our charge this oscillator almost at the exact same time. I just did it like a millisecond faster.
What?
That's great. Yeah,
Dude, like, thanks, because like, you know that thing you did, this completely fucks you over.
That's true. Just gonna do direct damage. The only thing they have at that is just their health
kind of lame
pool.
to me.
I mean, that's the thing. There's not too many core weapons in the game, and they're all quite costly in their own regard. Like the rifle is heavy, energy heavy, slow, stuff like that. Missiles the same way. Oscillator's like the only cheapest one.
That niche in the next game.
That'd be neat, yeah.
This fucking weapon is so ass.
Yeah, it's not great. Therapist, maybe we'll have its time to shine in the next patch.
Just don't use reverse joints a whole lot.
Yeah. Just good to just have that initial jump off the ground, really. And of course, their kick range is epic sauce. The spam games.
Dead. Oh! I don't play these builds.
Yeah, no, it's just with a build that's supposed to be as like simple as basically when I'm playing the upgraded version. It's just like that has a lot more to manage. Like you got to keep on putting out your drones over and over. You gotta fire your missiles. Me, I just get close, pop the Huxleys, and spray and pray, and dodge around while I need to reload.
Also, because of these like are so decent. Also, these therapists just suck.
Yeah, therapist is just no
so
good.
Bad.
You need to at least like pair it with 2, but then that's not even like you're sacrificing in comparison. It's just overshadowed by everything. Like on its own, it's okay at building up some more stagger, but that's just not enough.
Because like if you want to build more stagger, like more electricity, you just use another stun gun.
Exactly.
Like why?
That's true.
Have you been staggered you once? It feels like I haven't.
Almost, but then again, I have my own pulsar indeed. So this is a closer game, I think. Hell yeah, though. Oh, if you need help with anything else, of course, as well. If you have any like creative projects or anything like that, do you want me to link in, shout out? I'm always down for that, of course.
And if you want to shout my comics, go ahead.
For sure. Where can people find your comics?
Tumblr, Reddit, DeviantArt.
Yeah.
I think I also have Instagram, but I post most of my comics on like Tumblr, DeviantArt.
Gotcha,
also, like anything also on Webtoon too. They're on there.
Hell yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I'll have those linked as well up here on the screen when it is in editing. So if you want to send me a screenshot of or the socials themselves on Discord, I will plug them in. Hell yeah, dude, anytime. Appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time. Alrighty, and that is it for this video. Again, big thanks to Shattered. Definitely, please, for the love of God, go check out his comic and stuff like that over on Instagram, Tumblr, and all that cool stuff. It would mean a lot to him, mean a lot to me. I highly appreciate Shattered's help. He's helped me on multiple of these projects. And yes, please go share some love, go share some interest, give him some creative feedback, all that cool stuff. Everything a creative could ever want. But yes, that is it for this video. Have you all yourselves a very good one. Look at Shattered's comic, goddammit!